welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to explore something that, well, it might strike you as incredibly simple, actually. Your daily water intake.
Right. Seems almost too basic sometimes.
Exactly. Yet it could be this fundamental kind of silent reason behind some really common issues for men, especially those over 60.
Yeah, things people often just put down to age.
Things like energy levels, vitality, even fading erections and maybe declining testosterone. It's a connection that, often gets overlooked. So our goal in this deep dive is to give you a bit of a shortcut to understanding why this is so crucial. Our mission really is to challenge some common assumptions about hydration. We're going to unpack some powerful science-backed insights.
Yeah.
These come from our expert here who spent, over 3 decades treating thousands of men.
That's right, over 30 years. And look, I can almost hear some of you thinking, water, really? Is that it?
Yeah, the skepticism is understandable.
Totally. And believe me, I've sat across from countless men, board-certified urologist, men's health specialist. They felt the same way. They come in frustrated, convinced, their best days are gone.
Just resigned to it.
Pretty much. But what I've found consistently is that the problem isn't always just age itself. More often it's our habits, our daily routines, and proper hydration. Well, that's maybe the most overlooked habit of all.
Okay.
Because, see, even what we call mild dehydration, just a little bit off, it acts like a triple threat.
Triple threat. How so?
Well, first, it actually thickens your blood, makes circulation sluggish. Second, it shifts your body into a kind of survival mode, which can tank testosterone. And third, it spikes cortisol, the stress hormone, pushing testosterone down even further. It's a nasty combination. Makes it incredibly hard for your body to perform optimally.
Okay, that's a powerful claim. Mild dehydration having such broad impacts, thickened blood, suppressed hormones. Can you walk us through the mechanics a bit more? Like, how does this specifically affect something like an erection? Many people might not immediately connect that to water intake.
Absolutely. Let's unpack that.
Great.
So, at its heart, your body's ability to perform, especially for something like an erection, it's fundamentally a hydraulic event.
Hydraulic, okay. Like plumbing.
Exactly like plumbing. It relies entirely on efficient blood flow, pressure. And what's really crucial to get is that blood itself. It's over 90% water.
90%. Okay, so even a small drop in water intake could literally thicken our blood, make it more sluggish. That's a very direct impact.
That's precisely it. Even slight dehydration makes your blood thicker, slower. It's much harder for your heart to pump it around effectively. So if your blood is sluggish, that essential pressure you need for an erection, well, it simply won't build up properly.
Makes sense.
We saw this clearly with a patient, Jim. 68-year-old former coach. He was convinced age was the sole problem, but actually it was chronic, low-level dehydration, making his blood too heavy, too viscous to move properly.
Wow. And what happened?
Proper hydration, focusing on consistency, essentially thinned his blood back to normal. It vastly improved his circulation, allowing that whole hydraulic event to occur much more naturally.
That's incredibly clear. How critical hydration is just for basic blood flow.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned hormones, specifically testosterone.
Yeah.
How does dehydration mess with our hormonal balance?
Right, that's where it gets maybe even more significant for overall well-being beyond just erections. Dehydration basically throws your entire system into survival mode. Your body thinks, okay, resources are scarce, I need to conserve.
Right, prioritize the absolute essentials.
Exactly. So anything not crucial for immediate survival, like, reproduction, libido, even robust testosterone production gets put on the back burner. Sidelined.
And testosterone isn't just about sex drive, is it?
Not at all. It's fundamental for drive, energy, muscle maintenance, mood, overall vitality. So when your body senses a lack of water, it kind of suppresses that internal fire to save resources. We had another patient, Walter, 72. He felt his energy just fading away. His testosterone wasn't alarmingly low on paper, but it was suppressed enough to explain why he felt so off, flat.
And connecting this back, you mentioned cortisol earlier.
Yes, the stress hormone. Dehydration also spikes cortisol. And cortisol and testosterone, they have this inverse relationship. They're like a seesaw.
Oh, Kobe.
As cortisol goes up, testosterone tends to go down. Many men over 60, maybe unknowingly, are stuck on the wrong side of that seesaw purely due to hydration habits.
So,
Walter's spark, his energy, it genuinely started to return just by adopting a consistent, smarter hydration routine. It helped rebalance that seesaw.
Okay, so if water is this crucial, and the science seems pretty clear, why are so many men still, struggling with this? It feels like something we should all have nailed by now.
That's a really important question, and I think it's often because most people not just men, drink water the wrong way.
The wrong way. How can you drink water wrong?
Well, think about it. Many people chug large amounts at once, especially ice-cold water, and often only when they're already feeling really thirsty.
Guilty as charged. I definitely do that. Wait till I'm parched, then down a huge glass.
Right. But by the time you feel that intense thirst, your body is already dehydrated. And then chugging a large volume, especially cold water, it just rushes through your system. It can overwhelm your kidneys. They work overtime to process it. And you can actually end up flushing out valuable minerals, electrolytes in the process.
Flushing out minerals like sodium, potassium.
Exactly. Things you actually need. It's like throwing a bucket of water at a really dry sponge. Most of it just runs off the surface. It doesn't get properly absorbed deep inside.
That's a great analogy. The dry sponge. Okay, so what's the smarter way then, if chugging isn't it?
Your body loves consistency, predictability. That means small, steady sips throughout the day.
Small sips, not gulps.
Right. And ideally, room temperature water, not ice cold. Cold water can actually constrict blood vessels in the gut slightly, hindering absorption. Room temp is gentler. And here's another tip. Try drinking while seated. Rather than standing or walking around.
Seated, why does that matter?
Being seated helps signal your parasympathetic nervous system, that's your body's rest and digest mode. It primes your system for better absorption compared to when you're active or stressed. We had Mike, a retired truck driver, very skeptical about, respecting water, as he put it. But when he switched from chugging cold bottles on the go to slower, seated sips of room temperature water during his breaks, he reported feeling stronger. Not just in bed, but overall energy, focus.
Interesting. Just changing the how.
Precisely. And one more thing, even just letting the water mix with your saliva for a few seconds before swallowing can help. Saliva has enzymes that start the digestive and absorption process. So it's really not about drinking more necessarily, but drinking smarter, respecting how your body actually processes fluids.
That makes a lot more sense. The mechanics of how the body takes in water. But what about, are there subtle things, like hidden habits that might be working against our hydration efforts, even if we think you're doing everything right?
Ah, yes. That's a crucial piece of the puzzle, because what's fascinating is you could be doing the sipping, the room temp water, everything we just discussed, and still find things aren't quite right, because these hidden habits can quietly sabotage your best efforts.
Okay, like what? Give us an example.
Sure. Think about Harold, 74-year-old retired pilot, sharp guy. He was following all the hydration advice, very diligent, but still felt something was missing, energy wasn't quite there.
Okay.
We dug into his daily routine. Turns out, his strong morning cup of coffee and his relaxing evening glass of wine.
Oh, the diuretics.
Exactly. Caffeine and alcohol act as diuretics. They signal your kidneys to flush out more water. So even though he was drinking water, the coffee and wine were pulling it right back out of his system.
Though he was basically just playing catch-up all day.
Pretty much. You think you're replenishing, but you're fighting an outgoing tide. Another subtle one. Drinking a lot of water immediately after eating water-rich fruits like oranges or melons.
Really? Why is that bad? Fruit is good, water is good.
They are, but timing matters. Drinking a lot of plain water right after can dilute the digestive enzymes in your stomach that are trying to work on the fruit sugars and fiber. This can lead to bloating, gas, and just make your digestive system less efficient at absorbing nutrients overall.
Never thought of that.
Yeah.
Diluting the good stuff.
Yeah. And even you can actually overhydrate. Drinking way too much water too quickly.
Overhydration. Isn't more water better?
Not always, especially if it's rapid. It can dilute your blood electrolytes, sodium, magnesium, potassium, flushing them out before your body can use them. And those minerals are absolutely critical for nerve function, muscle contraction, including the smooth muscle responses needed for sexual function.
Wow. So there's a balance.
There's definitely a balance. So sometimes the solution isn't about adding more, but about removing these subtle sabotages. For Harold, it was about spacing out his water from his coffee and wine a bit more. Maybe cutting back slightly, small tweaks.
Okay, so it's not just about what you put in, but maybe timing and what you might be inadvertently taking out or counteracting.
Yeah.
Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, why does hydration become even more critical as we age? Particularly after, say, 60.
Yeah, that's a key point. It's because basically your body loses some of its youthful resilience, its ability to kind of cover for bad habits.
The margin for error shrinks.
Exactly. When you were younger, maybe you could get away with less water, more coffee, whatever. Your systems were robust enough to compensate. But after 60, the cumulative cost of those small mistakes really starts to add up. Frank, a 67-year-old retired electrician I work with, he put it perfectly. He said, "Doc, I just feel like someone turned the volume down on my life."
Wow, that's evocative. Turn the volume down.
Isn't it? And when we looked into it, his hydration habits had slowly declined over the years. Nothing drastic, but consistent underhydration. And his body, well, it wasn't 25 anymore. It couldn't just compensate and bounce back. His system started to lag. Energy, recovery, everything.
So it becomes non-negotiable.
Pretty much. Consistent, intentional hydration is no longer just optional in these years. It becomes foundational. Absolutely essential for maintaining function.
That really puts it into perspective, the compounding effect as we age.
Okay, so beyond just hydration itself, are there other foundational habits that work with good hydration? Things that synergistically amplify the benefits and help the body, as you said earlier, kind of remember how to work again?
Absolutely. Synergy is a great way to put it. Think about the power of combining proper hydration with something really simple, something we sometimes call the 7-second morning trick.
Okay, intrigued. What's the 7-second trick? It's basically just a simple, deep, intentional breathing technique. You do it first thing in the morning, maybe even before you get out of bed. It's a slow, deep inhale through the nose, filling the belly. Hold for maybe a second or two. Then a slow, gentle exhale back out through the nose. Repeat a few times. Takes maybe a minute total.
Okay, deep nasal breathing. How does that help?
That specific type of slow nasal breathing is one of the best ways to stimulate your body's natural production of nitric oxide, or NO.
Nitric oxide, I've heard of that. Important for blood flow, right?
Critically important. NO acts like a signaling molecule, like a switch. It tells the smooth muscles in your blood vessel walls to relax and open up, dilate, which means much better blood flow everywhere.
And this connects back to erections and energy.
Directly. And the thing is, most men over 60 naturally have declining levels of nitric oxide production. So this simple breathing technique helps give your body a little boost, reminding it how to make and use NO effectively. We saw this with Greg, 71. Hydration had definitely helped him. He felt better, but still felt like he was, almost there.
Plateaued a bit.
Yeah. After adding just this simple 7-second breathing trick to his morning routine consistently, he described it as feeling like he was switched back on, like his body finally remembered how to work again.
Wow. Hydration plus breath.
It's about helping your body reactivate its own natural, powerful systems, giving it the right conditions.
Okay, so, stepping back, what does all this mean for you, the listener, who's been following along? We've heard these stories, right? Jim, Walter, Mike, Harold, Frank, Greg, and they really illustrate a profound possibility here. This isn't just about sexual performance, is it? It seems much bigger.
Absolutely.
It's about reclaiming vitality, reclaiming confidence, feeling a deeper connection maybe to your own body, maybe to your partner, just feeling fully alive in your own skin again.
That's it exactly. So let's maybe distill the core insights just to recap for everyone.
Good idea.
We talked about how absolutely crucial water is for robust blood flow. Remember, blood is over 90% water. Even slight dehydration makes it sluggish, thicker, impairing that fundamental hydraulic event needed for an erection.
Right, the hydraulics.
We also explored how dehydration throws your body into that survival mode and how that suppresses testosterone while raising cortisol, creating that detrimental seesaw effect on your hormones, hitting energy and drive.
And the mistakes people make.
Yes, the common mistake of drinking water the wrong way, chucking large amounts, especially cold water when you're already thirsty. It's not absorbed well, like that bucket on a dry sponge. And the body's preference, consistency, small, steady sips, room temperature water, ideally drunk while seated, even letting it mix with saliva. Smarter, not just more.
And then we uncovered those hidden habits, the saboteurs. Things like diuretics and coffee and alcohol, drinking water right after water-rich fruits, or even overhydration flushing out those essential minerals.
Crucial to identify those.
Plus, why this all becomes even more critical after 60. Your body just loses that youthful ability to cover for bad habits, making consistent, intentional hydration absolutely foundational. Non-negotiable, really.
Couldn't say it better. And finally, we touched on that synergistic power, combining proper hydration with that simple 7-second morning trick, that deep, intentional breathing.
The nitric oxide boost.
Exactly. Supercharging blood flow, helping your body kind of remember how to work again.
Yeah.
And here's the final thought I really want to leave you with. Your body. It still wants to work. It really does. It might have slowed down a bit. It might be quieter than it once was. But deep down, the same engine you had in your 30s or 40s, it's still there.
It's waiting.
It's waiting for the right conditions to come alive again. And water, that's part of it. Breathing is part of it. Daily rhythm, intention, that's part of it too. And crucially, all of this is within your control.
That's empowering.
It is. So don't let anyone, not your age, not your past experiences, not your own doubts, convince you that your best years are automatically behind you. You likely have more strength, more potential, and frankly, more time than you might think. Start today. Start simple.
That's a really powerful message. It boils down to remembering that even these seemingly small, consistent actions can lead to pretty profound changes over time. So take these insights, think about them, apply what you've learned today, and maybe just begin it, to reclaim that vitality, your energy, your connection, one smart sip, one deep breath at a time.